was from the state councilman Giselle Baker was reading from, was page 22, page 23, and page 24. And I'm going to ask that you follow along with us too as we present our presentation tonight. Okay? And the media has it as well.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Jackson Mark.
Yes,
Excuse me.
I got a couple of items here. Number one, I wanted to acknowledge Glenda Pope, a good friend for years. A lady was physically challenged. She got a master's degree and she died. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. I am going to say something about the budget. Number one, the mayor, as he consistently does, left this important meeting. He picked up, it's like somebody on a basketball court, they don't get their way, take the ball and run. And we've been dealing with this for too long. And he mentioned politics. This is not about politics. This is about a $20 to $30 million corporation, and we have a responsibility to serve the people. Okay. Chief Spots is in the back. He stated recently we have $5 million in warrants out there. My suggestion at the last council meeting a week ago, that if we got half of that, we won't have to lay off the individual we have to lay off. And for the record, it's across the board, not just the police. And nobody on this council wants to lay off police, because safety is so crucial. I sent a memo to you asking for extra time, but I won't take it now. I'm going to read this because I think it's relevant. Number one, we have not had an economic plan in the last 3 years. The people were told if they kept the red lights, and we were one of the few cities in the country that kept the red lights, that we wouldn't be in the situation we're in now. But that proved not to be the case. Did it not? So we're there because of one thing, and I want the public to hear this: overspending, spending money that you don't have. And I, for one, and I take no kudos for this, have talked about this for 3 years. I said, we're spending too much money. I said, we're spending too much money, and all you sit out here come, you know that's the case. So why are we here? Because we're spending too much money. And when you spend too much money, you get into trouble. That's the bottom line, no matter what's said. Now, we have a charter that dictates to us. Does he have an economic plan that brings revenue in here? The 2,000 vacant houses and properties that's been sitting here, we get no tax revenue from. We have no significant new revenue coming in the city in the last 3 years under this administration. It has not happened. So we don't have the revenue. So we have to do what we have to do, but it's really not our decision. It's the mayor's decision. He is the one that has 230, 240 employees. He's the boss. He's the big guy. He's the whatever you want to call. And we've constantly, and I say this with all humility, talked about the spending. I said we would be in fiscal emergency the route we were going, and we're there. Okay, and when the state comes in, they will monitor the spending, but ultimately we will decide, the mayor and this legislative body, how the spending is going to go. But if here's a guy that wants to sit down and work with us, but walks continually walking out, he's been doing that all year. All year. Now, does he have a plan? East Cleveland's charter requires that the mayor submit a budget every year by November 15th. Section 60 and 61 of our charter specifies the level of detail the mayor is required to provide this council in order for us to review and approve a budget. There are 13 separate detailed pieces of information Mayor Norton is supposed to give this council and the citizens and the media. I'll summarize it very briefly. A detailed estimate of the cost of managing each department signed by the director. We did not get that. An estimate of expenditures necessary to complete the current fiscal year. We did get that. A detailed reason for proposed increases or decrease in such items of expenditures compared with the current fiscal year. We didn't get that. A detailed inventory of supplies and materials on hand and the value. We definitely didn't get that, or the supplies. We had to go to court to make this. We're in court right now in mediation because we're not getting anything.
What are we getting?
Nothing. Nothing but walking out, not working with us, And you know what the irony is? I'll take a break here. Everybody on this council supported this young man to be mayor. Everybody. So what has happened in the last 3 years for this situation to be the way it is? If you have a credit card and you max that credit card out, you get penalized. Well, he had the credit card for this community, and he went way beyond it. 6 to 8 million as we count right now. It might be more. Let me continue. And then I have something else I want to share with you when you give me that chance, Madam President. A separate schedule for the department showing the things necessary for the department to do during the year, in which any of desirable things ought to be to do if possible. We didn't get that. The total amount of outstanding city debt with a schedule of maturities of bond issues. Didn't get that. And the most recent state audits say that the mayor's record of keeping raises questions about fraud. Fraud. The recommendation of the mayor as to the amounts to be appropriated with reasons thereof, such as detailed as the council may direct. Definitely didn't get that. But tonight, the mayor doesn't have a plan, but to blame council for his responsibility. We are elected officials, all of us. We're elected by the people. We're public servants. This is the public's money. This is not the council's money. This is not the mayor's money. This is the public's money. Not Gary North's money. If your money that we have to spend, but if we don't spend it correctly, it's on us. It's on the administration. We give him a budget, like we've given all mayors, 15, 20, 30,000, 20, 15, 20 million every year. And once we give it to him, it's up to him to stay within that budget. If he does not stay within that budget, he's irresponsible and derelict in his duties. Let me finish this part. Mayor North has not been responsible. Look at these deficits. Look at the high salaries. Should I go there? Briefly. In this 3.1 miles, 85,000 for the mayor. Finance director, 80,000. Anna Marie Smith, the HR person, 69,000. I can go down on chief of staff, 80,000. The bottom line is we cannot afford those salaries. Do you see any of them saying, I will bite the bullet for the police, I will bite the bullet for the employees to give back? No, they're not. No, they're not. Do they deserve it? Probably so, but we cannot afford it. And let me conclude this portion of my comments, because I got a lot more to say about this. Council did not authorize the closing of the Huron Hospital. As a matter of fact, we legislation not to close. It was a bad deal. If you saw the paper a week ago, they getting ready to build a whole new hospital in Mentor. Did you? I'm talking about Cleveland Clinic in Mentor. But they closed this. What's a gem for us? People love to go to Huron. They closed it. So what was the deal? Nobody on this council had anything to do with that. He got his own private deal.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I said he did his own private deal.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. We passed a budget last week that was responsible, and we're not changing it no matter how much drama he calls it, or no matter how much he wants to point your finger. It's against the law to recklessly spend more than what we bring in. That is my point. We spent too much money, or the administration spent too much money, now we're in a hole. Now our good police who put their life on the line are going to have to bite the bullet. Everybody's going to have to bite the bullet, and it may take us 2 or 3 years to turn this thing around, but somebody's going to have to bite the bullet. The bottom line is the money's not there, and there's no plan to bring any new revenue in. There is no plan. There is no plan. That is the bottom line. Do we dislike the young man? No, we do not. We hoped, and I hoped, as his fraternity brother, that he would come and share us moving forward and work with us. And then he's done what the last few mayors have done. They get in there and get the big head and get egotistical and arrogant and We get nothing done. And who suffers? The citizens. I have spoken.
Okay,